Hey guys, happy Friday. Joe Madden here. This is the Joe Madden Sports Podcast. I'm joined by Allie Burns, Plus Money Honey on Twitter. Allie, how's it going today?
It is going, man. It has been a busy week. It was a fun Thursday night football. Cashed the Chargers and the under on that one. So, a little on the hungover side and ready to bet some baseball today. I'm all about that baseball today.
Where did you watch the game last night, Allie?
At my house, actually, I was
Okay.
painting my room with my mom.
Oh,
That's
and
how
what
we
was
did
the
that.
drink of choice?
Beer. It's always Bud Lights. That's just how I
Is
roll. I'm
it?
not a big liquor person. I like my Bud Light. I know where it puts me. I know how many I can have, and I just keep it steady.
I like it. I've always been a wine girl, but I've found vodka waters make you just feel fantastic the next day with a little squirt of lime. So,
Really? All right, all
yeah.
right.
So the hangovers don't happen. And I'm kind of wondering, why they don't. I think I hydrate.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm looking at. But Allie,
I
like
like
you said, we got lots of games today. We got lots of
it.
MLB. Let's talk some MLB. What action do you have out there?
So one of the and this is a tricky bet for me to make just because I know the Braves at home, right? But the Phillies Braves game that's going down today,
Yeah.
I was doing some research on it, and one thing I like, the very first thing that I look at before I cap a game is I just go to the standings and I check out who's on a streak, right? Who is on winning streaks and who's on losing streaks, because I don't want to get in the way of either of those streaks either way that they're going, right? Um,
Absolutely.
so I'm looking at the Mets, the Braves, and the Phillies, right? The Braves are one behind the Mets. So they're motivated to catch up and get in that number one spot. I know.
Yeah.
But the Mets are also 1-4 in their last five, and they're coming from the East. They were from the West. They were playing the Giants and playing the Mariners. Two tough teams, also, right? And now they're back home from this long road trip. They've got Freed starting. So good on you,
Yeah.
Braves. However, the Phillies played the Nationals, not the toughest team, at home. Then they flew for 3 games to Miami. Now they're back at home. Both teams have had a day off, and Phillies are 4-1 in their last five. So it just seems like travel wise, the Braves are going to be a little bit tired. Now the Phillies 4-1 again in the last five. They are 8 games behind the Braves, but in these 3 games, they could literally swap them
Yeah.
out where Braves have to lose because you're going to win. Then they've got 10 more games for the rest of the season, and 2 of those games are also against the Braves. So the Phillies really kind of have a spot here to jump ahead of Atlanta. So I took Philly on the run line. I think I got it at a minus 135 at plus a run and a half.
Ooh,
So I'm
that's
huge
nice.
on that.
Did you
Um,
sprinkle on the money line as well? Do you think they could pull off the upset win?
Yes, I did, because that's kind of the whole point of the cap is that they're
Yeah.
trying to get games back. So I did sprinkle that money line. I also went with the Orioles plus 1.5 at
Okay.
minus 145. Toronto was taking forever to decide a pitcher. They played a long game yesterday
Yeah.
where they did not look great. And I just ride the Orioles. That's just what I do. So rolling with the Orioles today. Cardinals minus 1.5. Had to get on that. I don't see it happening 2 days in a row against the Reds.
Yeah.
Cardinals are in that spot where they're, trying to stay at the top of their game as well. I like Flaherty. He's not the greatest ever, but I like him. Reds don't seem to have a pitcher quite yet. And whenever a team doesn't have a pitcher decided, I always like to fade that team, because it's kind of like the other guy knew what he was going to do
Yeah.
today. And you are just like waiting around and, oh, shoot, today's my day. So
Do you think it's ever like a mind game that they're not announcing these pitchers, that they actually do know it?
sometimes it is. What I usually do um, if there's not a listed pitcher, I look in the schedule for whoever pitched the day before, and then I go through the week and find out who pitched after him last week. And then I
Smart.
figure out who's supposed to be here and why aren't they, kind of a thing. So, yes, sometimes I do think it's a mind game, but really it has mostly to do with rotation and injuries and bullpen and things like that. How much of your bullpen did they use the night before? Things
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. Got some love coming in for you from TJ. So,
And then
okay.
in the college football world, I took FSU on the money line, is what
I
I
love
did.
it. I took FSU on the money line too. So I think it is a safe one. 2.5 point favorites here. I think this is a tight game tonight.
I think so too.
Three
And
and a half now. It's gone up to 3.5 point
yeah,
favorite.
I
Yeah.
got it 2.5 on the money line, I believe is what I got. The other one is I teased the Air Force and the over. So it's Air Force minus 10 over 41. That was another play I've got going on. I have a lot of action today, Joe. I've got a ton of action. I like the Red Sox on the run line. I like the Astros run line. I'm maybe have too many bets out.
So it might be a shorter show to say, Allie, what do you not have today? Which games are you not betting?
That's fair.
What are you avoiding today? Is there anything on the diamonds that you're just like, that doesn't sit right? Something smells off. I'm staying away from it.
I mean, the Yankees being a minus 118 looks a little bit funny to me.
Yeah.
Their bats have woken back up again, but I know that people like Hauser. Montas isn't my favorite, but the line is going in the way of the Brewers. It opened at plus 115. It's a plus 104. I see 108 here on Caesars. So the line is actually going the way of the Brewers. I'm not in love with that Yankees. It looks kind of weird to me.
Seems like a short line for sure. I would have expected minus 160 favorites in this position.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, when something looks fishy, normally is. Any thoughts on the Brewers, the Dodgers and the Giants tonight?
I don't mess with the Dodgers. Here in Las Vegas, they're always blacked out. We can't watch their games. So it's not a team I bet a lot because I don't lay a lot. I don't lay chalk. I don't want to say I don't trust the Dodgers. I don't trust the Dodgers. I don't like them. I don't like the Dodgers, so I don't bet on them. I don't want to watch them. I can't watch them. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting because they're coming in at minus 160, 62-ish in there. They've been strong on the run line this year on the road, going 45 and 30 on the road. But I don't know. Something tells me against Logan Webb, the Giants might be able to get something done in this one today.
And the Giants aren't horrible. Like they're not the worst team that there ever was. And these two teams definitely come for each other when they play. Sorry, I'm looking up where the money is at, because that's really what I've been looking at. And something that I've been following really hardcore is the primetime games, right? We had the Broncos and the Seahawks. It was 6.5, 6.5. And then all the money is on the Broncos. And that number went down to a 6 and I jammed it, right? That's reverse line movement.
Yeah.
Last night, the same thing happened with the total in the Chargers game. All the money's on the over and the 53 moves down to a 52.5. Reverse line movement. So you jam on that under. That's kind of what I've been trying to do as far as this goes. We've got 82% of the money is on the Dodgers, and it went from 155 to a 156. I think I saw 165. And it looks like everything is on the under. Seems like a lot of action for not a lot of line movement.
Yeah, it does seem like a lot of action there. So that total is low at 7.5. We know the Dodgers, when they are rolling, can get those points on the board. So give me an interesting game. It's a stay away from me. I've been finding the Diamonds hard as of late. With football back, I haven't been concentrating on them as much. I've only got one play out there today, and I'm avoiding anything to do with my Toronto Blue Jays because I look at them and they've just loved to screw me over. So you got any faith in the Toronto Blue Jays here with where they're sitting in the wild card race?
I mean, I'm already on the Orioles. And this was a play because Toronto hadn't decided their pitcher, I've been waiting to make this bet since last night, and it just went live right before the show started and I jumped on it. Let me look at the standings because Toronto is 6.5 games behind the Yankees.
Yeah.
The Rays are 1 behind Toronto. And then Baltimore is 5 back from there. So they're 6 back from the Blue Jays. I don't see any reason why Baltimore can't move at least to get in front of Tampa Bay. I feel like Toronto's about to skid.
Yeah.
They've won 6 of their last 10, though. Like, I'm not giving up on them yet. I have futures on them. I want Toronto to do well, but I'm just not betting on them against the Orioles.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the Orioles have a way better chance of getting the win here. Now, TJ wants to know if you can trust in the Tampa Bay Rays at all, Allie.
I mean, after last night, you want to say yes. They're 5-5 in their last 10. The Rays are just a tough one for me. In the past, I've played the Rays a lot, like back in the Hap days and Eovaldi and Snell. I've kind of gone through their pitchers for years. Playing the Rangers, I don't necessarily hate. Sorry, I'm pulling it up right now. Playing the Rangers, I don't necessarily hate.
Was Perez out for them?
But they've been on the road. Toronto is Canada, y'all. It's a different country. And now they're going to Tampa, which is Florida. So considerably south. It's a big travel for them. Texas has been at home and they're just cruising over. They did lose to the A's.
It's going to be an interesting one. If anything, for myself, I'm looking at the under in that game with the travel situation that Tampa had, with Texas just not able to get that offensive runs like up there, right? I think under 7.5. I really don't like the number of 7.5 to take overs or unders at. I prefer solid eights. What about you? Do you have any preference on those numbers?
7.5s, I like to go over just because so many games have been going over. And a lot of times you're paying, like the 7.5 is going to be based on a name.
Yeah.
Somebody's name is making it do that. If Wainwright is pitching for the Cardinals, it could be a 7.5, but the Cardinals are hitting like 10 runs a freaking game. So that's kind of the part that I try to pay attention to. Okay. Oh, Corey Kluber is an auto fade for me.
Kluber.
For the Rays. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, John's going to take the Rays here on the money line and the Mariners on the money line here.
Mariners, love the Mariners. Love me some Mariners.
Okay. Well, it should be a great day on the Diamonds. Allie, what have you got going on for the rest of today and this weekend?
It's been a long one. It's been a long week. Football is here, y'all. So we are very busy over at Picks and Parlays. I'm actually proxying for Sean Higgs and for the Insiders Room. They're both in the Circa contest. And then the Insiders Room is also in the William Hill College Football contest. They went 6-2 in college football.
Hell
Higgs
yeah.
went 5-0 in Circa. So lots of picks coming my way. We do the Picks and Parlays Power Hour. Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So you guys definitely want to check out that show. We share hosting duties between me and Detroit Lenny and our new host, Hannah. You got to meet Hannah Mears. She's darling. If you haven't met her already, that girl is sharp with her football. Let me tell you what.
I can't wait. I can't wait to have a chat with her. Allie, thank you so much for joining me here on the Joe Madden Sports Podcast. You got a promo code or anything for us at Picks and Parlays?
I do. Head to picksandparlays.net and use the promo code NFL. It's going to save you 20% off whatever you get on the site. Our guys are hot right now, y'all. Like, hold on, give me 1 second to promo our guys.
Absolutely.
Dan Kaiser in the last 7 days has made $1,000. Rob Fincelletti, $1,000 over the last 20-9. Chip Chirimbus is 17-9. Over the last 7 days. So our guys are hot. Head to picksandparlays.net. All the leaderboards just pop up for you right there. You see who's hot. You see how much money they're making. It's super easy. And then use that promo code NFL. It'll save you 20%.
I love it. Allie, thank you so much for your time here today. Keep crushing it. I know you got a busy day. Thanks for joining me here. We'll see you again next week.
Bye. Thanks for having me.